This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, ho there, ho there. I'm Jeff Diamond. Welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe. We start another month in the series, and it's March. First birthday boy of March is Ron Francis. Ron Francis played 23 years in the NHL. 23. Can you imagine? He played for Hartford, Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Toronto. He's the assistant GM of the Hurricanes. Ron Francis was picked 4th overall by the Whalers in the 1981 NHL draft from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. He played 10 years for Hartford, was their main captain, and established team records for goals, assists, points, and games, which is amazing. When we look at the 1981 NHL draft, this was the draft that Winnipeg had the number 1 pick, obviously because of the troublesome 30-game winless streak. But Winnipeg picked up Dale Hawerchuk. The Kings ended up getting a first-round pick from Detroit. Detroit would have had the 2nd overall pick, but LA got it and picked Doug Smith from the Ottawa 67s. And then the 3rd pick was Washington's, which they picked up from the old Colorado Rockies. And they got one of the best Americans around, Bobby Carpenter, until injuries and immaturity ruined him. Then Francis got picked by Hartford. Other first-round picks. Grant Fuhr went 8th. James Patrick went 9th. Al McGinnis, my boy from the Kitchener Rangers, went 15th. All that. Steve Smith. Not that. I don't think that's Steve Smith. I think it's a different Steve Smith. Drafted by the Flyers. That can't be the same Steve Smith. Nope, that is not the one. It was a different Steve Smith. Okay, good to know. So anyway, you got yourself, that's it. Yeah, that Detroit first-round pick was because of the trade that sent Rogie Fachon from LA to Detroit. I did not know that. So anyway, Ron Francis was a Hartford legend. And then Hartford let him go at the trade deadline in 91 to the Penguins in that big trade that sent Pittsburgh off Samuelson. Well, to send Samuelson and Francis and Jeff Parker for Slavsky and John Colin. Now, Slavsky and Colin were decent, but, it helped Pittsburgh win the Stanley Cup, mostly because of Walt Simmonson's toughness, despite the fact he did shatter Cam Neely's knee for a legal check. But Ron Francis was the second-line center. And with Lemieux being top, even though Lemieux kept getting hurt, they won back-to-back cups in 91 and 92. Francis was a decent player. And then once he was away from the Pittsburgh contract, he actually ended up joining the Carolina Hurricanes. Hartford, the new home of the Hartford Whalers. And he helped Carolina as captain in 2002 get all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals against Detroit Red Wings. Of course, as a Leaf fan, I'd be pissed because, that's 2002. The Leafs were supposed to be in the final against the Red Wings. But Carolina fucked us over. Thanks a lot, Arthur Turvey and Marty Shellana. Oldham. Of course, I would be doubly pissed because Carolina was about to choke to Montreal in the second round of the playoffs. It would have been Habs Leafs for a trip to the Stanley Cup Finals. But Ronnie Francis, I believe he scored the game-winning goal in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, but then Detroit won the next 4. So anyway, so Francis would become a Leaf when the Canes got rid of him in the 2004 trade deadline. And Francis played a good role. He would have to retire prior to the 2005-2006 season. He ended up winning the Selke and the Lady Byng in 95, which was amazing. But he got 2 more Lady Byngs, 98 and 2002. Even won the King Clancy Memorial Trophy for humanitarian needs. He got to 4 All-Star games, 83, 85, 90, and 96. And the funny thing about Ron Francis is his cousin also was an NHL goalie. But he was a star goalie in the early 80s. That being Mike Liut, Liut. Mike Liut played for St. Louis, Hartford, and Washington, among others. Of course, when he was the Blues, Liut was actually the second, almost won the 81 Hart Trophy, but Gretzky beat him to it. But Mike Liut was good. But then the 1981 Canada Cup final, when Russia crushed Canada in Divine Powder, that was kind of the beginning of the end for Liut. So anyway, Not bad. He got 2 Stanley Cups. Ron Francis did. He started for many years, especially in Pittsburgh. Playing for being the second line center. Yeah. So after his short stint with the Leafs in the playoffs and all that in 2004, he retired because of the lockout. Not bad. 549 goals, 1,249 assists, 1,798 points. Not bad. And he played 40, and he scored 46 goals in the playoffs. But he was more known for his assists. Francis was the 3rd Carolina captain when he was at Carolina Hurricane. He was captain after Hillier. Randy Hillier was captain of the Penguins at one time. That doesn't sound right. But anyway, Francis was the 7th captain in Hartford history before Ladouceur did it. So yeah, so great job, Ron Francis, for what he did and all that. He's a fitness freak and all that, kind of like his fellow Carolina guy, Gary Roberts. But Ronnie Francis basically helped out Pittsburgh, and I believe that's like the second, and I think they called it one of the best trade deadline deals of all time when he went from Hartford to Pittsburgh, because he gave Pittsburgh credibility with the second line center, and basically, he helped them win back-to-back Stanley Cups. So can't fault that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.